And then we're just gonna start by dropping in, syncing up with the breath. And we're gonna start with some very small rotations of the neck. So you can pretend your nose is like a pencil and start by drawing some small circles clockwise to start. And just slowly widen those circles as you roll through the full range of motion for your neck. Very gently, mindful of the breath. Just notice what's going on in the neck today, what you hear, what you feel. Any sticking points, any stiff points. And when you open up that circle nice and wide, you can reverse. So again, just finding the edge of that range of motion for you today, noticing what's going on in the neck. And then just pay attention to what feels good within this movement. So I like to usually tuck my chin and just roll back and forth at the bottom of that circle because it really helps kind of release some tension from the traps. It gives a little massage. So continue moving organically, giving attention to whatever your body is trying to draw your awareness to. And starting to recognize those sensations without getting overwhelmed. So you're just observing the signals that you're getting as you move through these exercises. It might feel good to draw a straight line up and down, tuck the chin, look all the way up. Again, just nice gentle movement. You might look left to right. Just again, finding that edge of your range of motion, noticing what's going on in the neck, if anything. And then in that left to right motion, if you want to use your just 2 fingers on your jaw and just gently press a little bit further into that twist, very gently, very mindfully, just noticing your threshold, noticing what you feel. Continue working through anything that you need to in the neck. Always trying to sync up with the breath, honor the breath as you move. Trying to incorporate that breath work into this dynamic movement. So once you've got what you need there, you can come back to center, take your time getting there. Once again, stack the head over heart, heart over pelvis. Make sure your posture is nice and tall, chest is open, shoulders are back. And we're gonna just very slowly begin to roll through some shoulder rotations. So send the shoulders forward, squeeze at the top, shoulder blades together as you come down the back body, and forward again. Just moving through some circles, exploring what you feel there in the same way you did with the neck. And as you start to notice what you're feeling, maybe what you're hearing, we're going to put a little tempo to this movement. So we're going to sync up with the breath, and we're going to incorporate the breath into what we're doing. So you're going to inhale, lift, squeeze those shoulders toward your ears, really squeezing, lifting, hold at the top, pause. And you're either finishing your inhale or gently holding. And then slow exhale as you let the shoulders sink back, shoulder blades come together, back and down, really squeezing through the traps. So again, inhale, lift up, squeeze, lift. And exhale, roll those shoulders back, scapula together, sink all the way down. Inhale, lift, Squeeze, hold. Squeeze, 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 and relax. Exhale, roll the shoulders back. Sit up nice and tall. And we're just going to continue with a little upper back stretch by sending the right arm out in front and then across the body, using the left hand to bring that right elbow closer to the chest. Inhale for a big expansion through the upper body. And on your exhale, bring that upper arm a little closer to the chest. You can tuck the chin if it feels good. We're just going to feel that torso expansion and retraction on your big inhale, nice, slow, controlled exhale. Giving a big stretch to the upper back body. And when you're ready, release. Hands come back to your lap. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So left hand comes up and across the body. Right arm brings that left arm closer in towards the chest. Squeeze. Big stretch on your exhale. Big expansion of your chest on the inhale. Sitting up nice and tall. Moving with the breath, honoring the breath. And when you feel good, you can relax and come back to center. So once again, check in with your posture and then bring the palms together at the heart prayer pose. We're just going to press into the palms, press the elbows away from each other, nice and wide, sitting up nice and tall. And then you're just going to turn your wrists so that your fingertips point toward me. And then bring them back in to point toward you. So we'll just roll through that a couple of times. Notice what's going on in the wrists and the forearms, if anything. Just observing, no judgment. We'll go a couple more times, even it out. And when you come back to center, go ahead and interlace your fingers. You're going to press the palms out and away from you, so your palms are facing me. And then press a little further, so really reaching out in front of you, really stretching through the upper back. If you want to relax your head and neck, you can do that. Really think, imagine cat pose here, so you're pressing away from the palms, really stretching through the upper back. Upper abdominals curl inward to meet the back body. Good, and then on your next inhale, you're gonna rotate the palms up toward the ceiling, send them all the way up and overhead, reach a little higher, really elongating through the spine. And then listen up when you're ready. Keep the fingers interlaced and just lower the hands behind the back of your head. So get comfortable here. I like to extend my thumbs and just massage my neck a little bit anytime my fingers are interlaced behind the head, so feel free to take advantage of that opportunity. Elbows will be nice and wide, and we're just going to very gently start by twisting to the right. Just looking to the right, back through center, twist to the left. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, twist to the left. Keep it going. So just sync up with your breath. Notice what you feel. And then go ahead and even it out. Come back to center when you're ready. All right, you can let the hands relax. Just hang down next to you. If you want to shake them out, get that blood flow going again, go ahead and do that. Take a second, assess your posture, sit up nice and tall, breathe deep. And then And we're gonna send the hands all the way back up and overhead. This time take the right hand, grab the left wrist, pull it up and over to the right side. Big side body stretch on the left, maybe lower back stretch on the left. Find your range of motion. And then breathe into that. Nice big stretch. And then bring it gently back through center. Left hand grabs the right wrist. Pull that right wrist up and over to the left. Reach. Big stretch to the side body. Sync up with your breath. Turn inward. Notice what you feel. Acknowledge those sensations, embrace those sensations. Try not to get overwhelmed. And then go ahead and bring it back to center. You can shake the wrists out once again if you want to. Roll through those wrist rotations if you need to. You can even interlace the fingertips and just kind of articulate through the wrists, however feels good for you. So make a little wave, make a reverse wave if you have the coordination. Whatever you need to do to take that fatigue out of the wrists. Okay, from here, come back to center, nice and stacked through the spine. You're gonna lift your right palm up in front of you and then send it out to the right. We're gonna drop our left ear over our left shoulder and then lower that right hand down to about the same height as your hip. So once you're there, you can start by drawing some small circles with the palm, clockwise or counterclockwise. Just kind of finding that tension point through the traps, through the forearm, just exploring a little bit. Make sure your fingertips are pointed toward the ceiling or they're flipped up. Your wrist is kind of pointing back toward your forearm. If you want to try some gentle organic movement in the neck, like maybe you tuck the chin a little bit, or roll upward, see what you get, see what you find, notice what you feel. And then if you want a little added pressure, you can very gently, mindfully take your left hand to the outside of your right ear and just gently rest your hand there on your ear. Again, find what works for you today based on how you feel. Listen to your body. And when you've got what you need there, take your time, slowly, mindfully, gently, release everything and come back to center. Roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest, gazes up. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So left palm comes up to face me. Send that left palm over to the left. Send it down slightly to about the height of your hip. And you're just gonna sink that right ear over the right shoulder. Start to draw small circles with that left palm. Remember, fingertips are pointing upward or back toward your forearm. And then find some easy organic movement in the neck. Very gently tucking the chin, just finding micro movements within the exercise that feel good for you. Bring that right hand to the left ear and rest it gently there. If you'd like a little extra pressure, just be very mindful, protecting the neck. Always try to incorporate the breath wherever you can. And when you've got what you need there, you can slowly, mindfully, with control, come back to center. So from here, we will move to the edge of the seat if you're able. If you're not, you can stay where you are. There might be some range of motion limitation here, but you should still be able to do these stretches as well. Okay, so the first stretch that we'll do is just a seated forward fold from the chair. So you're gonna bring both palms up toward the ceiling, palms facing one another, nice big stretch. Think of that elongation through the spine, getting really long, getting really tall. And then send your palms toward me, outward in front of you, all the way down to the ground, maybe between the feet. Whatever feels good for you. If you want to grab the chair, you can do that. If your palms just rest gently on the floor, that's fine. Feel free to let your head and neck relax. You can shake out your hair if you want to. Get a little weird. And then just enjoy that tension relief in the low back, a little bit of a hip stretch. Take a second to sink back up with your breath, collect your thoughts, and just enjoy the quality of your breath. Take a couple more deep breaths. And you can slowly, with control, curl upward, nice and slow, stacking through the spine. All right, so this time what we're gonna do is reach down to our left foot with both hands. So get there however you get there. We're just gonna start in that position. So hands are on top of the left foot or near it. And then you're gonna leave your right hand where it is. Drag your left fingertips along the inside edge of that right arm, across the chest, and all the way up toward the ceiling. If fingertips are pointing toward the ceiling, you can look up. Try not to crunch in the neck. Try to remember that the neck is a nice, beautiful extension of the spine, and it needs protection too. So you're open, really big and open through the chest. And then bring those left fingertips back down to the ground. We'll walk over to the right foot and do the same thing on that side. So leave your left hand either on your on your right shoe or on the floor. Your right fingertips will drag along the inside of that left arm across the chest and toward the ceiling, all the way up. Fingertips pointing toward the sky, big twist. Twist a little deeper on your exhale. And rain those fingertips back down. So we're gonna continue to alternate from left to right. So we'll walk the hands back over to the left foot, hang on to the left foot with the right hand, open up through the chest, left hand toward the ceiling. And bring it back down, back over to the right. Left hand stays planted, right hand comes up toward the ceiling. Big twist. And sync up with your breath, move at your pace. Listen to what your body's telling you. And just notice what you feel. All of those sensations are messages from your brain to your body and your body to your brain, and they're important. All right, so we'll just go through a couple more of these. Go ahead and even it out at your own pace. And when you're back at center, once again, slowly, mindfully roll up, articulating all the way through the spine. Stacking up, head over heart, heart over pelvis, shoulders roll back, sitting nice and tall. One more time, we'll send both hands up toward the ceiling. Big stretch, big reach. And this time you're gonna, when your hands come down, you're gonna bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Right hand will go behind you or grasp the chair, whatever works for you. You're gonna sit up, lift, and twist, and just look back over your right shoulder. If you wanna find a little gentle movement in the neck, you can do that. Notice your breath. And when you feel good, Bring it all the way back to center. I almost said unravel. All right, one more time. Hands all the way up toward the ceiling. Big stretch, big reach. And rain your fingertips down. Right hand comes to the outside of left knee. Left hand comes behind you or to the outside of the chair or couch. Sit up, lift, and twist, looking back over your left shoulder. And if you want to find a gentle movement through the neck, I encourage you to do so. And when you feel good, bring it back to center. Okay, so while we're sitting on the edge of our chair, plant the left foot where it is. We're gonna send the right leg all the way out. So just your heel is on the ground, toes are pointing upward toward the sky. And then use your left elbow on your left knee, or your left hand on your left knee, or your left forearm on your left knee to support you. But we're gonna bring that right hand up and over, come all the way down to the toes of your shoe or your foot, your actual toes. So then you'll just lean forward into that until you find a gentle stretch through the hamstrings and maybe through the calves. Remember, keep your toes pointed toward the ceiling or toward your shin. And then just find some gentle movement, just pulsing a little bit with the breath, acknowledging our range, not forcing it. Not too intense, not too aggressive. Just kind of noticing what's going on in the hamstring and the calves. All right, if that feels good, you can spend more time on that side. Otherwise, bring that right foot up and plant it. Extend that left leg out, toes are pointed toward the ceiling. Use your right knee to support you. Bring that left hand up and over toward the toes. Trying to grab your toes. So toes are pointed back toward the shin. And we're just gonna lean forward. Find that pressure in the hamstrings and in the gastrocnemius, the soleus. Just noticing what you're feeling. Breathing. Making it work for you. Take your time in that pose, and when you are ready, you can slowly curl up. Both feet will come to the floor. And then we'll just do a little hip opening exercise if you have the space for it. So if you do, your right ankle is going to come over your left knee. Left hand can rest on that ankle, and then I like to put my right hand either on my right knee or on the inner right thigh. So I'm just gonna maintain a good posture in the upper body and just very gently apply pressure to that right thigh. Notice what's going on in the hip, what you feel, what you hear maybe, and where your range of motion is. Just observing those sensations, moving in a way that is comfortable for you, honoring wherever you are today. And just finding what feels good. Once again, bring it back to the breath. Always centered and focused on that, always mindful of the quality of your breath. Deepening the inhale. Slowing down the exhale. And letting the breath work with you, not against you. Okay, so you can continue working there. Just open up through that hip a little bit more if you'd like to. Otherwise, slowly, mindfully unravel, and you can use your hands to help you do that if needed. Same thing in the setup. If you need to use your hands to get that left ankle to the top of your right knee, that's totally okay. Again, I like to rest my right hand on top of my left ankle, and then my left hand either on my left knee or left inner thigh, whatever works for you. We're just going to gently apply pressure there. Noticing what we feel in the hip. Syncing up with the breath. Finding what feels good. Exploring that range of motion, that flexibility of the day. It might change drastically from day to day, and that's okay. Just observing the sensations, no judgment, positive inner dialogue. All right, slowly, gently, mindfully release both feet to the floor. And then we'll do a little stretch through the triceps. So we're gonna open up the right palm on top of the right knee, and then bring that right palm up and over toward your right shoulder blade. So once you're there, use your left hand to guide your elbow, either pulling it back from behind or pushing it back from the front, whatever works best for you. Trying to get a stretch through the triceps on the right arm. So notice what you feel. Explore your range of motion. Explore what works for your body. And then sync up with the breath. Exhale helps you pull a little bit deeper. Inhale gives you that big expansion through the upper back, through the torso. And when you're ready, you can let that relax. Same thing on the left. Open that left palm on the left knee. Bring it forward, up and over toward the left shoulder blade. And then use that right hand to guide that left elbow further back. So stay synced up. Try to notice what you feel and where in all of these poses. Just try to be able to articulate what you're feeling to yourself. Sometimes that just helps guide the exploration of the body a little bit more. Maybe helps you understand what you need. Take a few more breaths. Notice the quality of your breath. And then slowly release when you're ready. Shake out the wrist if it feels good. Roll through that range of motion if it feels good. Do whatever you need to do. All right. While we're going through the wrist range of motion, let's go ahead and do that for the ankles as well. So again, if you want to support your leg by holding it, that's fine. We're just gonna roll through that range of motion, that full articulation in the ankle. So rotate clockwise, then counterclockwise, left to right. Notice what's going on, what you hear, what you feel. And go ahead and switch sides. Lift that leg with your hands if you need to. Rotate one way, then the other. And release when you're ready. Last but not least, we'll sit up nice and tall one more time. Roll the shoulders back. Palms come behind you, and together, interlace your fingertips. Press your interlaced hands down and away, like toward your tailbone. Sit up nice and tall, shoulders should roll back. Should feel a nice stretch a little bit through the chest and through the anterior deltoids, front of your shoulders. So gaze comes up, close your eyes if you want to. Nice strong posture. One more time, we'll sync up with the breath. Notice what that does for your stretches. We'll end there in that pose, so please feel free to stay as long as you like. Otherwise, you can replay the video, go through some of these mobility and flexibility stretches again. I hope this was helpful, and if it is, let me know. I will post more of this content. Thank you. Have a great day. Namaste.